Why, hello dear viewer, and welcome back again to Deep Dog Proletarian with another legit Silksong review, or well, more theory review, but I mean, it's kinda the same, isn't it? Today we will be taking a closer look at one of my earliest theories, which I threw up in my oldest video, my well-known but often dismissed Deep Dogs video, which started it all. Psst, you can also watch it in the info box up above. It will probably pop up on screen right now or something, I don't know, maybe. Okay, just so you notice. Now, since this is already a long time ago and much has indeed happened since then, I will give a short cut-up of this little theory of both me and some other people. Basically, Farloom, the new kingdom for All Night Silksong, will have a deeply hierarchical society, meaning there are different classes of people. There are those who are at the bottom of the kingdom and the classes, the masses, who work and toil below, and those who are up above, spiritual and aristocratic people, or well, bugs. In context of Silksong, those down below are the workers. They endure the pain for the upper classes and have to do their duties. They are either really uneducated or possess no intelligence at all. Those up above live in bright and big cities or even serve the king or something else in the citadel. The upper aristocrats are probably made up of the townsfolk or the cultists. They live in splendor and glory with shops and theaters and big homes, while those down below have nothing to live on but a few smaller villages and the little land they inhabit. What evidence can I gather for these claims? Well, simple. First, let's get to... Now, this factor is of course pretty small, or at least so one would think. The game isn't even out yet. How can there already be enough video footage to show that class is already manifested in the Farloomian lands? Simple. Let's first take a look at the earliest area which Hornet is bound to visit, this being Moss Grotto. Moss Grotto is most likely one of the lowest areas in the kingdom, or maybe even the lowest. Going by our class theory, this should mean that we see low intelligence species roaming the land, mostly made up of dirt and moss, adding a bit of stone as well. And indeed, this is exactly what we see. From the demo footage, we literally see no NPCs or something resembling civilization in this land. Now, while there are already NPCs for Moss Grotto who are known, these being the Moss Druid as well as the Churchkeeper, the designs of them show a very primitive way of life. The creatures who are crawling and flying in these mossy caves are also of low standing. They have little mind of their own, only being driven by their most primal of instincts. Kinda sounding like Darwin here. Anyway, we do know of a starting town for this area, this being called Bone Bottom, which probably lies in the Moss Grotto. Now this is pretty on the nose. A town at the bottom of the kingdom, literally, or at least most likely made up of bony structures. It doesn't get more Stone Age than that, basically. We have no official glimpses of Bone Bottom, but there are maybe some hints of it in the release trailer, or at least I believe they are set clues. We can gather mostly small creatures living in bone and leather housings. The area is illuminated by a small lumifly lamp in the center of the room. The area is also covered with moss and stones. This is some really basic stuff, that's all I'm trying to say. The village then also gets attacked by some bone shadow creature, similar to the one we saw in the Deep Dogs. This could be a slight hint that either these shadow creatures are found in the entire kingdom, or that Deep Dogs and Moss Grotto are in some way connected. If this is the case, then let's move on to the second most known area, the Deep Dogs. Now, on a civilizational level, Deep Dogs is without a doubt higher than Moss Grotto. While I believe the Deep Dogs to look a bit different in the finished game than what we saw in the demo, I still think the core elements of this area are present. You've got the bells, the workers, the mining operations, forge daughter, ballow, and so on. We didn't see a village, but the whole technical and mining aspect of the area shows signs of a higher intelligence standard. There are NPCs, and the enemies look more like actual educated people, or well, bugs, than the simple animals we saw in Moss Grotto. This means that the Deep Dogs are either higher on the map than Moss Grotto, or at least on a similar level. At Nintendo Treehouse they said a little bit further into the game than Moss Grotto, but not by much. In Deep Dogs we also get another clue to the class system going on in Farloom, this being... At the 7th bell toll send 30 measures 4 beats smoke rock, 8 beats sweet smelt, mark of fealty all workers. At the 9th bell toll send 20 measures 2 beats smoke rock, 7 beats sweet smelt, mark of fealty all workers. This was written on a lore tablet found in Deep Dogs. Well, at least in the demo version. This is probably the closest we have to textbook evidence of classism going on in Falloon. The workers in Deep Dogs are seemingly still working, even though they are under some kind of curse. Many fans, including my good friend Sizzle, have speculated that the curse has something to do with the bells. How exactly is still being debated. In this case, bells could act as two things. If the workers in Deep Dogs are cursed or under hypnosis, then maybe the bell tolls are some kind of activation signal for them to send the needed materials up above. One of the Nintendo Treehouse commentators mentioned it in passing. These enemies in Moss Grotto appear to have some sort of curse. What that curse is, what that haunting is, we need to solve as part of our journey. It's different than the curse that was in Howlness. It's kind of tragic as you're exploring in here, and you find all these little bugs. In some respects they're still toiling away at their life's work, but their minds aren't their own anymore. Or another time later on. These guys in Deep Dogs still continue to work, so they are haunted by something. But there's still some sort of goal that they're working toward. At least for these bellheads here, it seems that they're gathering all this coal to send up to the Citadel, which is high above in Falloon. Or the bells could just act as a workplace signal, and there is no magic connected to the sound of the bells at all. If we explore this lore tablet further, we find the line Marker Fealty All Workers. This is it, the clue to all clues, the primus inter pares. The workers are seemingly working and toiling for some kind of goal, which the bugs up above strive for. It is unclear though what this end goal is. Are these Deep Dog workers constructing the bells? Do those up above need resources for a machine? Are the Deep Dog bugs actual workers, or are they slaves from a different bug tribe? What the hell is even going on? Well, we don't know a lot, but this marker fealty is crucial. It shows that the low-life workers down Deep Dogs are bound to their masters in the upper levels. They are giving their life's work for the cities and its people above. Turning to the cities above, we come to a stop point. Because aside the Gilded City and the Shining Citadel being above the rest of the map layout, is virtually basically unknown. But by applying our civilization standard, we can already guess that some factions don't rank that high. For example, the ants in the primitive caverns and their skull and bone based weapons are probably not going to be as high up as the enemies we face in the ancient vault, mentioned in Team Cherry's latest blog post, well, at least for now. By using this standard, we can't determine every area just yet, such as the Coral Forest, Turbios area, Greymore, etc. But we can already get a better grasp of what we are going to experience as Hornet will ascend above. The enemies will get a lot more intelligent and thereby harder. Now, this was obvious from a gaming standpoint, but now it also makes sense lore-wise. The Gilded City and its close comparisons will obviously have a lot more to offer, and will be a lot more advanced than, say, the Bone Bottom village, down below in the grotto. This will perhaps also give the player a lot more potential in the upper areas for ways of transport and travel. The end question though is if there will be some kind of progress, which Hornet might or might not initiate, which will tear this class system apart. Perhaps by helping the lower life forms in the deeper levels, she will enact a sort of soft revolution from down below, or by just killing the upper class enemies in general. Only time will tell of what can happen. But for now, tell me your opinion of this class theory down below. And as always, speak soon, dear viewer.